Linda, a 70-year-old retiree from Florida, was skeptical when her nutritionist told her that one small change could ease her joint pain, boost her energy, and even sharpen her vision. The secret? A fruit she hadn't eaten in decades, papaya. Within a month, her daily aches faded, her digestion improved, and her doctor was stunned by her blood work. Sounds unbelievable, right? But here's the real question. What makes this tropical fruit so powerful that scientists are now calling it nature's silent healer for seniors? Stay with us, because the answers might just change the way you eat, starting today. Let's pick up right where we left off, with Linda's story. You see, for years, Linda dealt with that all too familiar discomfort after meals, bloating, heartburn, and irregularity that made daily life a challenge. Doctors gave her the usual advice: more water, less red meat, maybe try probiotics. Nothing really stuck. But when she added just a small serving of ripe papaya to her breakfast each morning, something changed. Papaya is more than just a tasty tropical fruit. It's like a gentle helper for your stomach. It contains something called papain, which helps your body break down food, especially heavy meals with lots of meat. Think of it as a natural boost to your digestion. And don't forget the fiber. That's what helps keep everything moving smoothly, if you know what I mean. For Linda, the bloating eased up, her bathroom routine became more regular, and she finally felt a sense of relief she hadn't experienced in years. So if your stomach feels sluggish or unpredictable, papaya might be the quiet fix you didn't know you needed. It worked for Linda. It could work for you too. And speaking of small changes that make a big difference, let's talk about your immune system. You know how every winter it seems like someone around you is always sneezing or coughing? John, a 72-year-old retired teacher from Texas, used to be that person. Every year, like clockwork, he'd catch a cold that would linger for weeks. But last year, something was different. John started eating a bowl of papaya a few times a week, just part of his breakfast or as an afternoon snack. He didn't think much of it at first, but as the months rolled by, he realized he hadn't caught a single cold, not even a sniffle. Why? Well, papaya is loaded with vitamin C, more than you'd get from an orange, believe it or not. That's the stuff your body uses to fight off infections and bounce back faster. It also has vitamin A and E, which are like extra guards for your immune defenses. For John, it wasn't about doing something dramatic. It was about making one smart, consistent change, and it paid off. Could papaya do the same for you this year? Maybe it's worth a try. Now let's talk about something many of us deal with as we get older: inflammation. It shows up in stiff joints, sore knees, or that lingering backache that never quite goes away. Margaret, a 70-year-old grandmother from sunny California, knows that feeling all too well. Her arthritis had gotten to the point where even her daily walk around the block felt like a chore. Then her daughter suggested something simple: adding papaya to her diet. Margaret started having a few slices every morning with breakfast. Within a few weeks, she noticed a change. Her joints didn't feel as tight in the mornings, and she had more pep in her step during her walks. Papaya is rich in antioxidants, things like beta-carotene and lycopene. These natural compounds help calm inflammation in the body, and less inflammation often means less pain and better mobility. For Margaret, it wasn't a miracle cure. It was a steady, gentle improvement that gave her more freedom and comfort. If you're living with daily aches or swelling, adding papaya might just help soothe your body from the inside out. Why not give it a shot? After seeing how papaya can ease inflammation, let's shift to something even more vital: your heart. As we age, keeping our blood pressure and cholesterol in check becomes a top priority. That's exactly what George, a 75-year-old retired firefighter from New York, had on his mind. He'd been dealing with rising blood pressure for years and didn't like how some of the medications made him feel. His doctor advised him to make a few diet tweaks, so George gave papaya a try. He started blending it into morning smoothies, Just papaya, a banana, and a splash of almond milk. Simple and tasty. Within a couple of months, his numbers started to move in the right direction. His blood pressure came down, his cholesterol improved, and he felt more energized, not sluggish. Papaya is rich in potassium, which helps balance out the effects of sodium and keeps your blood vessels relaxed. Plus, all that fiber helps sweep out the bad cholesterol. George didn't overhaul his life. He just made a smart, heart-friendly choice each morning. And the results? They spoke for themselves. Maybe it's time your heart got a little help from papaya too. And here's something many of us can relate to: managing our weight. It's not about chasing a number on the scale. It's about feeling good in your own skin, staying active, and keeping up with the grandkids. That's what Susan, 65, from Illinois, wanted when she decided to take her health more seriously. She didn't jump into a trendy diet or start counting every calorie. Instead, she made one simple change. She swapped her usual afternoon cookie for a bowl of fresh papaya. It was sweet, satisfying, and didn't leave her feeling sluggish. Over the next few months, that small habit added up. Susan lost weight steadily, nothing extreme, but enough to feel lighter, sleep better, and move with more ease. Papaya is naturally low in calories but high in fiber, which helps you feel full longer. And that gentle sweetness, it's the perfect fix when sugar cravings hit. Susan says she never felt deprived, just more in control. And honestly, that's the goal. If you've been looking for a smarter snack that actually supports your goals, papaya might be the answer hiding in plain sight. After finding a sweet, guilt-free way to manage her weight, Susan isn't the only one reaping the benefits of papaya. Let's talk about something just as important: blood sugar. If you or someone you love is living with type 2 diabetes, you know how tricky it can be to find foods that are both tasty and safe. Michael, a 69-year-old retired mechanic from Ohio, knows that struggle well. He was tired of the blood sugar roller coaster, high spikes after meals, then crashes that left him drained. On his doctor's recommendation, he started looking for foods with a lower impact on his sugar levels. That's when he gave papaya a try. He added it to his lunch every day, either sliced or mixed into a salad. What surprised him most? His energy was more consistent, and his numbers were finally starting to level out. Papaya has a low glycemic index, meaning it won't send your blood sugar soaring. And the fiber helps slow digestion, which keeps those levels steady. For Michael, it wasn't just a diet change. It was a step toward peace of mind. And for anyone managing diabetes, that's priceless. And speaking of peace of mind, let's talk about something many of us take for granted: our eyesight. As the years go by, it's common to notice things getting a little blurrier, especially at night. Barbara, a 71-year-old retired librarian from Arizona, started to struggle with night driving. Headlights felt too bright, and street signs were harder to read. Her daughter, who's a nutritionist, suggested she try adding more eye-friendly foods to her diet, starting with papaya. Barbara began eating a small bowl every morning with her breakfast. It wasn't an overnight miracle, but after a few weeks, she started noticing a difference. Her night vision improved, and those late drives to bingo night didn't feel so stressful anymore. What makes papaya so great for your eyes? It's packed with vitamin A, plus two special nutrients, lutein and zeaxanthin, that help protect the eyes, especially as we age. These nutrients work like sunglasses from the inside, shielding your vision from damage. For Barbara, papaya became more than just a sweet treat. It became a quiet little act of self-care. And for your eyes, that kind of care goes a long way. After seeing how papaya can help protect your eyes, let's turn to something even more serious: lowering your risk of cancer. It's a heavy topic, but also one that many of us think about, especially as we get older. Thomas, a 74-year-old retired school principal from Georgia, decided years ago that he wanted to be proactive about his health. Cancer runs in his family, and after losing a close friend, he began making thoughtful changes to his lifestyle. One of those changes, eating papaya several times a week. He read about how papaya contains lycopene, a natural compound also found in tomatoes, that's been linked to a lower risk of certain types of cancer. Combined with antioxidants that help protect your cells from long-term damage, it felt like a simple way to support his body's defenses. Thomas now mixes fresh papaya into his morning oatmeal or enjoys it as an evening snack. He says it gives him peace of mind, knowing he's doing something small every day that could have big benefits down the road. It's not about fear, it's about feeling empowered. And papaya, in this case, became part of his quiet daily armor. Following Thomas's inspiring approach to long-term health, let's shift to something a little lighter but just as meaningful: taking care of your skin. You know that feeling when someone says, "You're glowing"? That's exactly what Eleanor, a 66-year-old retired nurse from Washington, started hearing after she made one small change to her routine. She began eating papaya regularly and also using it as a gentle, homemade face mask once or twice a week. Within a month, her skin looked noticeably fresher. The fine lines around her eyes softened. Her complexion looked more even, and best of all, she noticed it when she looked in the mirror. Papaya is packed with vitamin C, which helps your body produce collagen, the stuff that keeps skin firm and smooth. And there's something called papain in papaya, a natural enzyme that gently removes dead skin cells, like a soft exfoliant without the harsh scrubs. Eleanor says her skin feels more alive now than it did 10 years ago, and she didn't need expensive creams to get there. Just a little fruit, some consistency, and a smile. Wouldn't it be nice to give your skin that kind of love too? After giving her skin a healthy glow, Eleanor reminded us that feeling good on the outside can be just as uplifting as feeling good on the inside. And speaking of the outside, let's talk about hair. Richard, a 70-year-old retired park ranger from Colorado, used to joke that he had more scalp than style. But secretly, the thinning hair really bothered him. He missed the fuller head of hair he had in his younger days. While he knew there was no magic fix, he decided to try a more natural approach. He started eating papaya a few times a week. A few months in, he noticed something surprising: less shedding in the shower, and his hair looked thicker and shinier than it had in years. That's because papaya is rich in nutrients like vitamin A and folic acid, which nourish your hair from the inside out. These nutrients help your scalp stay healthy and your hair follicles strong, kind of like feeding the roots of a tree so it grows better. Richard says it didn't make him 25 again, but it did give him more confidence. And sometimes that's the best kind of change. After Richard saw his confidence grow along with his hair, it's only fitting we move to something that keeps us standing strong: bone health. As we age, keeping our bones sturdy and resilient isn't just about avoiding falls. It's about staying independent, mobile, and active. Patricia, a 73-year-old yoga enthusiast from Oregon, knows this firsthand. A few years ago, her doctor mentioned early signs of bone loss. Rather than panic, Patricia got proactive. Along with gentle weight training and vitamin D from the sun, she added one delicious habit to her daily routine: papaya smoothies. She blends fresh papaya with a bit of Greek yogurt and almond milk. Not only does it taste like a tropical treat, it's packed with the nutrients her bones love. Papaya has calcium and magnesium, two minerals that work together to support bone strength. But what really makes it special is vitamin K, which helps make sure that calcium ends up in your bones, not your arteries. For Patricia, it wasn't just about avoiding osteoporosis. It was about building a life that lets her keep doing what she loves, on her feet and on her terms. After seeing how Patricia uses papaya to keep her bones strong, let's wrap things up with something that ties everything together: cleansing your body from the inside out. Edward, a 68-year-old retired truck driver from Nevada, used to feel tired all the time. Not the kind of tired a nap could fix, just a constant sluggishness. He wasn't sick, but he definitely didn't feel his best. His doctor ran the usual tests, which came back fine, but suggested Edward look into supporting his liver and digestion naturally. That's when he gave papaya a shot. He started eating it every morning, either fresh or blended into a smoothie. Within weeks, he noticed a shift. Lighter, more energized, more himself again. That's the quiet magic of papaya. Its fiber helps sweep waste out of your system like a gentle broom, and its antioxidants give your liver the support it needs to keep things running smoothly. Edward didn't do a fancy cleanse or buy any expensive supplements. He just made papaya part of his daily rhythm. And sometimes, that's all your body really needs, to be gently supported so it can do what it was built to do. So what have we learned from Linda, John, Margaret, and the rest? Papaya isn't just a tropical treat, it's a powerful, natural way to support your digestion, heart, bones, immune system, and more. These aren't just stories, they're real people who made one simple change and saw real results. You can too. Whether you enjoy it fresh, in a smoothie, or as part of your breakfast, papaya is an easy, affordable step toward feeling your best every day. If this inspired you, hit that like button, subscribe to Wellness Nest Daily, and share this with someone you care about. Your health journey starts now,